It's just gone 16 minutes past 7 a.m. If you have just joined us, this is the morning show right here on eTV on this Think Tank Tuesday. And that means we're actually about to spotlight smart solutions and real people who are making innovation accessible to everyone. Now, if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or just looking to take your digital presence seriously, then I need you to come a little bit closer because this is a conversation for you. Metrofile Cloud has just launched a virtual private server, or a VPS, as is commonly known. A VPS solution that's secure, self-managed, and designed with small and medium businesses in mind. And joining us live via Zoom to explain how it all works and why it's a game changer is Steve Porter, the Managing Director of Metrofile Cloud. Steve, welcome to the morning show. It's so good to have you with us.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
All right, just maybe let's start off with understanding a couple of things, right? So for those hearing VPS hosting for the first time, can you briefly explain to us what it is and why it's such a buzz right now?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think everybody who runs any form of business in South Africa understands what cloud means.
Yeah.
And the simple answer is running your applications on someone else's hardware. And I think the likes of Amazon, etc., have made cloud ubiquitous. But what they host is a public cloud. In other words, your data is shared across their platforms across the world. We do something quite different. And we very specifically cater for the South African market. And we do something called private cloud. And within that private cloud, which is managed by Metrofile, we had virtual private servers. So what that means is your data is safe. It's most importantly private. Only you have access to it, and you define which customers have access to your data. It is predictable in terms of both performance and cost. So those are two things you find out very quickly that we do differently in the market than the public cloud providers. So when you sign up with us as a customer, as an example, maybe you running your Sage 300 application or your Sage payroll application, whatever that application requires in terms of resources, we segment for you.
Okay.
With that segmentation comes predictable costing. You will never get a surprise bill at the end of the month. If we charge you, let's say, 1,000 Rand for argument per month, it will always be 1,000 Rand per month. And that predictability, especially in the small, or the sort of SMB space, I think it's important. If we think about our current economic times and the percentage of SMBs in the South African economy, every price increase or dollar rate increase has a material effect on an SMB. So specifically, we are targeting predictable costing, predictable performance, and data sovereignty and privacy in the South African market for the SMB space. I think it's a unique offering.
Yeah, it actually sounds like a business owner's dream at this point. I mean, now we're, tackling the idea around transparency, especially with regards to costings and what we're likely to pay, but also the idea around security and the safety of the information that is then stored on the cloud. I mean, you guys have just gone and launched this VPS solution that is tailored for small and medium-sized businesses. Why was now the right time for it?
So again, you two great topics there. You said security. So what we do that's baked into the box, which you don't get with other providers, is baked into the cost is cybersecurity off the bat and backups off the bat. You don't pay for that. So again, when you move into your cloud providers, as an example, that's all additional costs, hidden costs. In terms of timing, it's a great question. So we've definitely noticed in the last, I'd say, year or so.
Yeah.
I think we've ticked off the enterprise space from a private cloud perspective, and we've partnered with some incredible technology there. What we noticed was there was a massive gap in the SMB space. And again, I come back to price sensitivity. What happened over the last 15 years was everybody ran to the cloud. Everyone there The buzzword was cloud.
Yeah.
And if we break it down to its most basic principles, people got burnt from a cost perspective and a skills perspective. So the gap in the market that we saw was specifically around, we can provide the same level of service we've done for our enterprise clients over the last 15, 18 years. We can provide that same level of service, white glove, high touch for SMB space clients. So I think from a timing perspective, yeah, I mean, the world is in some fairly intense turmoil at the moment.
Yeah.
Bringing some basic stability to our SMB partners, our SMB customers and the market, it was something that was high on our agenda. It's the roots of our business. Metrofile Cloud is an SMB player.
I love that you prioritize small, medium enterprises because I think, they contribute greatly to the economy, and they're really what we need in order for the economy to, survive, but not just survive, but thrive as well. And I think, the general idea for a lot of people is that they think of enterprise technology generally as expensive or complicated, and sometimes they deter themselves from actually incorporating such technology within their businesses. How does this solution then simplify access for smaller businesses?
So we offer two modes of engaging with the product or the solution. So our history has always been high touch. You call us and we take care of everything for you from A to Z. We're trying a different approach here. If you feel that engaging with a human at Metrofile Cloud is not something you want to do, you can sign up yourself, spin it up. You define the resources you want, you load your application, and off you go. It's as simple as that. We provide very convenient payment methods. You can sign up for a month, for a quarter, half a year, or a full year. We've never believed in locking people into contracts. If you don't like our service, go to someone else who can make you happier. If, however, you want our classic and our roots type service, which has always been a very high touch service, reach out to us, contact us, and we'll set it all up for you. So we're offering SMBs the ability to do things on their own, if that's how they choose to do it, or to utilize us as we've always been and do everything for you. Sure. Again, the goal here is predictable costing.
I think you've just gone and, highlighted the fact that, there's a confidence that you guys carry in what you are offering. Because, I mean, if you're giving the option to, hey, man, this is not working for you, you're welcome to, look elsewhere, it then gives a person, the confidence to actually believe in what you are offering, which I absolutely love. Let's then talk about hosting locally, right? How does hosting locally then reduce cost and risk for businesses as compared to overseas service?
So, I mean, we all know what the dollar rate exchange is like. And I think if you run a business like I do, that is, or as an example, if you host with Amazon, like Amazon as an example, you are always watching the exchange rate. And I think when it climbs to somewhere near 20, I start to have mini heart attacks. SMBs shouldn't have that problem. If you're doing business in South Africa, you should pay a rand-based or ZAR-based service. You shouldn't have to freak out about moving between 18 to 22 or 18 to 20 exchange rate. That predictability, I think, from an SMB, from a cost base or OPEX, is absolutely critical. From a sovereignty perspective, again, what is specific about what we do is, yes, Amazon, etc., have data centers in South Africa. They're an American business. We are not an American business. We get up in the morning to ensure that South African business can do business in South Africa. Your data is specifically in our private cloud, and that private is critical. Where your data is stored, who owns it and who has access to it is critical.
Absolutely.
No one other than you has access to your data in our private cloud. It's critical.
I actually agree with that, and I think it's the most important thing that businesses actually need to consider, especially when making decisions of where they are going to be keeping their information, because ultimately you want to be in control of that information and you want to know that that information is safe. Just in wrapping up our conversation, because we have run out of time, to a South African business maybe that's just listening to this conversation, that's feeling quite hesitant with regards to switching from their current hosting provider, what words of advice would you give them, and what would you say to them to somewhat, make them realize and understand that, hey man, this is a solution that works for you?
I think we're a bunch of good humans. We deliver good service.
Yeah.
And we're here to support the South African market.
Yeah.
Cup of coffee, let's chat. You will not look back. It's that simple.
It definitely is that simple. Steve, can you just give us details for people that are quite intrigued and interested in your offering? How can they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. Metrofilecloud.com or the Metrofile group webpage. There are contact details across there, with telephone details, WhatsApp details, however you want to get in touch with us. We're here to chat.
Fantastic. Steve, thank you so much for your time and your contribution to the show. And we're definitely appreciating the idea of you guys supporting small, medium enterprises and securing their information on clouds that are, you know what, are local and more secure and are prioritizing their needs as well.
Fantastic. Take care.
That was Steve Porter joining